Mysterious pneumonia outbreak in Wuhan, China.
A new type of coronavirus.
The number of affected countries has tripled.
The World Health Organization has just declared that this is a pandemic.
हेलो सो 2021 का पहला ब्लॉग साइडलाइन का आई होप आपको काफ़ी खुशी हो रही होगी इस बात को सुन के, लेकिन मुझे खुशी इस बात से हो रही है 2021 में मेरा ब्लॉग 2021 में शुरू हो रहा है मेरी फेवरेट जगह से, दैट इज
आज का एपिसोड इसलिए भी एक्साइटिंग है क्योंकि नंबर 1 इट्स द फर्स्ट एपिसोड ऑफ 2021। सेकेंडली, आज हम कुछ दो अमेजिंग लोगों के साथ बात करेंगे जिन्होंने 2020 में कुछ अमेजिंग चीजें अचीव करी हैं, और मैं इसलिए चाहता हूं कि आप इन लोगों से मिलें ताकि आप एनकरेज हों कि इवन इफ इन दिस डिप्रेसिंग सिचुएशन में जिसमें 2020 में हमने बहुत सारे लोगों को खोया, बहुत सारे जॉब्स खोए, बहुत सारी ऐसी चीजें हमारे साथ हुई जिसको हम समझ नहीं पा रहे थे, मैं चाहता हूं कि इस सिचुएशन में इन लोगों ने भी किस तरह से हिम्मत नहीं हारी और अपने आर्ट पर, अपने क्राफ्ट पर इतना भरोसा किया, इतनी मेहनत करी और गिव अप नहीं किया, एंड दे गॉट अमेजिंग रिजल्ट्स ऑफ इट। सो लेट्स टॉक टू दीज वंडरफुल पीपल। सो आज जो गेस्ट हमारे साथ हैं वो एक राइटर है और आप उनसे पहले भी मिल चुके हैं अगर आप साइडलाइन को फॉलो कर रहे हैं तो। सो शी इज़ माई एल्डर सिस्टर मुक्ति मसीह, और रिसेंटली उन्होंने एक ग्रेट अचीवमेंट हासिल किया है, दैट टू इन 2020, एंड देयर शी इज।
हाय।
सो मुक्ति, हैप्पी न्यू ईयर एंड कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशंस फॉर बीइंग व्हाट द बेस्ट राइटर इन Amazon #1 writer. What was exactly that?
So my book actually was an Amazon bestseller for good 2 weeks, I think. And yeah, that was my first book, so that's the achievement.
How was 2020 for you as an individual?
Okay, first of all, I do want to say that 2020 has been a terrible year for most people. So it's almost like it feels criminal to say that I've had the best year. Anybody who says that is really marks his or her own words, because it's been definitely terrible for the rest of the world. So I want to say that 2020 was truly for me was like the toughest year of survival and the best year of survival, because toughest year of survival in the sense that so far this is 2021, this is February, and we've survived the coronavirus. So toughest year of survival because we were all, I was part of it, I was scared, I was constantly praying and every day like asking God as to why this is happening, and so will I survive this year and everything. And I actually can show you later in my diary that I'd written that God maybe survive 2020, maybe stay alive in 2020. That was definitely one of my prayer requests. So you can imagine that it was like the toughest year of survival. Also personally for me, the months of June and July have been extremely trying times for me, where I was filled with self-doubt. I actually was questioning every decision that I've taken in my entire life. I was questioning my choices of writing. I was, like why I chose writing as a
professional,
career.
as a
professional. I was questioning why I accepted God at the age of, I accepted Christ at the age of 17 and a half, and why I took that decision. Was that right, or did I make a mistake? Should I have gone with what everybody else does, So I was questioning those in those 2 months. Everything. Yeah, it was. Yeah, people call it existential crisis and things like that. So yes, I was definitely in a very dark spot in those 2 months. But because I survived those things, towards the end of July and the beginning of August, I was seeing God's light, and I was seeing God in a very different, from a very different lens. And that's when I think God revealed to me various things about His own personality, which I felt like I hadn't explored because I was just too busy, chasing goals and doing things and things like that. So yeah, that was, and so I was just very happy after that, and happy in the sense that I was just very happy to know that God never really left me. He'd never abandoned me, and accepting Him as my personal savior at the age of 17, and then choosing writing as a career, and all of those decisions had a purpose. They were part of God's plan, and so I became more and more reaffirmed in my faith after that. And also because of those wounds that I had in June and July, I used them and channelized them towards writing the rest of the poems that I was wanting to publish in my poetry book. I'd already written 20-25 poems already, and I had to finish 20-25 more, so because it would be at least 40 poems for my paperback edition. So I used that, sort of channelized all that wounds and pains and confusions into my writing, and so the book came out after that. My book came out on September 15th, 2020, and so I used those months of understanding, confusion, vulnerability, etc., channelized that into writing, and I think a lot of poetry came out of that. And I'm kind of, now when I look back, I'm really happy that I was in my authentic self when I was really writing those thoughts and penning down those things, because when people read my book, a lot of them specifically told me that they saw their own lives into my poetry. They could relate to that kind of poetry, and they were like, it was not just about strength, it was also about brokenness, because one of the chapters in my book is also about brokenness. So the book is divided into different seasons. One of the seasons is a season of brokenness. So, and that is the longest season actually in my poetry book. It was like, it has the maximum number of poems. So that season felt very long, and so I think that reflected in my poetry as well. So, but then towards the end, there's a season of hope, and there's also a life of love, where I get to talk about God's and Christ's love for me. And overall, I'm just happy. I wouldn't trade those 2 months for anything else, I think. I don't think I want to eliminate those 2 months from my life, or 2020 for that matter. And I'm really happy. So that's the way it is. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so that was interesting. I mean, you took that whole depressive environment into very positive in a creative form. But you were talking about God's plan, you were talking about your professional things, but was book writing in your plan? I mean, it was because of any, sometimes when people do things in desperation. So was this book in a desperation, or was it in a plan, or was it what exactly?
Yeah, so it was 2020. See, everybody started 2020 with a lot of hope, because it was like the end of the decade also. It was the last year of the decade.
Right.
Like everybody else, I had different plans. So I had 2020 as my mind as a year of my book publishing. Okay, so I did have that in mind.
Cool.
And from January, I was making efforts. And so I thought, okay, initially, because a lot of, I'm a new time writer, so I'm a first time writer, so maybe the publishers won't be interested. So I was actually applying in several anthologies. I applied in one anthology, then withdrew my name because I thought maybe it's a bad idea.
Oh, okay.
Because they were publishing the anthology on Valentine's Day, and I didn't want my poetry under only just love and romance. I didn't want to be a romance writer in general. That's not what I'm pursuing.
Agreed.
So yeah, I was trying it out, but let me also tell you that in March I gave up. I was like, because the anthologies weren't working out and my book was far from being completing. So I thought, okay, and also the pandemic hit. So the March, April, May, I was only thinking about the pandemic, surviving that, taking up projects, so I won't have a problem later on.
Yeah.
It was only in June and July, and I was like, what's stopping me from publishing the book now? What's stopping me from even writing and finishing that book? Because I still had to write at least 20 to 25 poems to add into that, because otherwise your book becomes very thin. You have to have a substantial number of poems to have a poetry anthology. So yeah, it was definitely in my plan, yes. And I think I've been praying about my book for many years now.
So that was basically when you said in March you gave up. Basically, you had this whole, because the person you are, or the kind of person you are, because I know you are a very systematic person. Like, guys, she's a very systematic person. She's like, after this you have to do this, after this you have to do this, and I'm like, I'll do this and then I'll do this, and there's no system in my plan. But she's a very systematic person. Being a systematic person, I think that I think you'll agree with me that if the things don't go according to your plan, it irritates you, and it definitely creates a chaos, a depressive environment. But you survived in it. You said in March you gave up. But then what happened? And what was the story when then from that depressing moment, or from that giving up moment, you stood again, and then what happened exactly?
Yeah, so actually it's not exactly like you actually have to go into a certain hopelessness to become hopeful.
Cool.
What happened was in March, because the whole pandemic hit and everything, my focus just changed. My focus changed from my book to just surviving the pandemic financially, and also in generally, taking up projects, so I would be busy and I wouldn't think too much about the news and what was happening and things like that, because it did bother me at some point. So
yes,
I gave up in the sense that I was like, okay, maybe 2020 is not the year. Yep. That's how I gave up, in the sense. And gave up also not hopelessly gave up, but more like maybe this is not the right time.
Okay,
that's
not that give up thing.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
So I wasn't at that point of a total abysmal, hopelessness where there's no. Yeah, that's
like you're not sitting in a dark room with a right. You're not sitting in a dark room and with a zero bulb on and.
Yeah,
right? Okay,
no.
So the one thing I think we can learn from this example, Mukti's example, is she had the plan of a particular dream, and she was giving effort to that dream, but a lot of things were difficult for her. I mean, pandemic was also one of the reasons. She moved a focus for certain points, but then again you were back on track for the same thing, same goal.
Yeah.
And so why Amazon and why Kindle then? Why you chose those platforms?
Yeah, so
because as but as a writer, because everyone has this whole dream that hard copy mein book chape and kind of stuff, but you chose the Kindle. So what was that?
Yeah, so two reasons actually. One is all the mainstream publishers, and in India they happen to be two, Penguin India and HarperCollins India. They're obviously international publications who have Indian offices. So the process is Penguin takes 6 months to say yes or no to your book pitch, and HarperCollins takes 3 months. So that I'd already explored in January, okay? But you need to have substantial amount of your book completed in order to give a story pitch. Today, I think the number of followers you have on Instagram and all of these things really add to whether or not Penguin or HarperCollins will publish your book. That is major thing. I don't have many followers. I have 1,000 followers or something. So I knew that, okay, traditional publishing could be difficult. What really triggered me was this Amazon Kindle's contest. And they have something called Pen to Publish contest.
Oh, okay.
And they said that Kindle publishing is easy, and all you have to do is just upload the manuscript of your book and its cover on the KDP app. They call it KDP app on the website, which is Kindle Direct Publishing. So you directly get published on the Kindle version, okay?
Yeah.
So until then, I had not read that Amazon does not publish paperbacks for Indian writers. I just assumed it. So I went ahead and I uploaded my manuscript.
Okay, why the world is difficult for Indians? Why it is? Why?
Yeah, they publish French. Okay. They publish even other Southeast Asian in countries, paper on demand
Right.
for writers, but not Indians for whatever reasons. So anyway, I put it up on Kindle because there was a contest, and the contest deadline was 31st August actually.
Okay.
So I thought if this is now
Or
or
never. Yep.
So that triggered me really, and this is the way my mind works also. Despite that you say that I'm a systematic person, what really triggers me is the deadline. Give me a
Deadline.
deadline, I'll finish
I'll
it.
finish it.
So I got a deadline that by 31st
Yeah.
August I should be able to publish my half of my book, and after that whatever the release date is, 3 days before the release date. Okay, but 31st August was the last date of submitting the first manuscript
Oh.
on Kindle.
Okay,
And I had to finish my book, at least half of my book until
Okay.
31st August
Yeah.
actually.
Sorry guys, there are a lot of ants
Bugs.
and bugs here. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was what. So deadline triggered me. There's nothing very deep about it. It was not like a groundbreaking moment happened or anything.
Yeah.
I subscribed to a certain magazine's newsletter, and in my email that monthly newsletter said Amazon is inviting writers, and I just published. I just sort of pushed that link, and I came to know that there is a pen to publish contest going on. The last date being 31st August. Let's do it. So
All right. So
nothing
that was
very
nothing
groundbreaking.
in that. All right. But then tell me, when you published this, I think that was the moment. Because guys, I was sitting in my room and she texted me that I am the #1 seller
On Amazon.
on Amazon, and I was like, what? Abhi kuch hi ghante to hue hain. So how did that feel? Because it's amazing to be itni mehnat karne ke baad when you get the result so quickly. So what do you think? Some people say this is kind of a luck, or you are lucky, or do you believe in those things?
No.
So that's
No.
good. So what do you think? Oh, by the way, I saw a snake shell there. So
Oh my
there
gosh.
might be some snake.
Oh wow.
Okay, अगर हमें snake काट ले और हम ये
This may be our last
this
year,
can be
or
our last
last
day. So whatever. so yeah, I mean, how does that feel to be #1? I mean, does this make you any different? Or first of all, share that feeling. I mean, that is something I don't know how will you explain it, but please explain.
Yeah, I think I'm the sort of person who does not react immediately. Somebody who takes
It takes time.
some like a few hours of reaction. But when I first saw it on the Amazon publishing list, it was #1 new release on Amazon and in the poetry section. So I was #1 on Kindle. I was #1 on the Amazon store, as in the website. So several places and under several categories. So it was under poetry, under anthology, under literary fiction and things like that. So I was under #1 under various things. So when I took this screenshot of it, and I think I sent that screenshot to you, and that's when I was like, how God? That was my first reaction. If you want to know my first reaction, I was like, how
Oh
God?
God.
It wasn't like...
It was not like, oh God, it was like, how
How
God.
God? So that's
So guys,
that's
the key is how, not oh.
not oh, not why,
No why.
not whatever. It's
मैं
like
क्यों?
how.
Why not me? How?
It's not even why me or why not.
Definitely.
It was like
Praise
how
God.
exactly. Because
Yes.
I'm generally a very logical person. I need to know the process behind everything.
everything.
So I was like, okay, even if... So here's the extent of my faith, and I think people should have more faith than this. Here's what my extent to my faith. I was like, how exactly is this possible, God? So I was asking God how, the whole algorithm worked, or whatever happened that it went on to become a #1 new release. So I was still, and later on then I gave up and I was like, I'm not going to think about this because God gave me this blessing and I'm going to take it as it is. I'm not going to question it. Yeah, so how God was I think most people go, why God? I was like, how God?
Amazing. So what are you thinking now? Is there any more poems here? Poems in a Chai Cup version 2 something? Is it because we... Oh, by the way, I created that cover. Yeah,
cover.
So I should get the 90% credit and 10% credit to her for writing those things.
Yeah, I totally
because
do that.
you definitely judge the book by its cover. All right.
Yeah, first of all, even the cover the story of the cover is also very interesting. I think it was God's plan that even the cover should be designed by Abhishek, because I actually approached another friend of mine, his name is Prince, if he's watching this, and it was such a bad timing that Prince said, there's no electricity, Didi, here, and and I want that cover in 1 hour.
difficult for Indians. Like everything is difficult for Indians.
So he said, "There's no electricity, Didi. I'm so sorry. When do you need it?" So I said, "By in like half an hour, 40 minutes." So he's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry," but he still promised me that he'll give me it. So that's when Abhishek was editing something, and I asked him that, "Listen, I just gave him like a brief, 5-minute brief. It was probably the worst planned brief you'll ever get because it was so vague. And I was like, there should be a tea kettle, there should be a chai cup, and it should be pouring somewhere on it and things like that. And I said it should be very sunny. I didn't even give him, I think, the color, which was much later. You know, sunny can be mustard, what I'm wearing, and it can be yellow, it can be light yellow. So I said it should be very sunny. So later on, I texted him saying that, okay, make it yellow, you know. Color. So he came up with different covers, and we finally he created 4-5 designs actually. Then I also started searching for more designs and everything. Then I gave him like a reference that okay, something on these lines and make it yellow. So by now I was like, the color palette is yellow and green, and that's all, and there must be some, you know, color of the chai or whatever. So he created that, and the moment he sent me that cover, I was just blown away. I was blown away. I was like, this is how I saw that. Literally, this is the way I visualized the cover. So I think while I feel sorry that Prince couldn't design it, I was happy that Abhishek did in
Prince.
the way. He's watching.
I got the credit.
I'm so sorry I took away your work. But
this is how we kill the competition.
Anyways, that was wonderful experience, and I think the learning from what I could understand is कि despite बहुत सारी परेशानी हमको हो रही है, number one, stick to your plan. Number one, be confident about what you are doing, because she was confident that if she'll publish or she'll write a book about poems and about the things which she had been gone through. Because I think when you were writing some of your poems, those were your personal experiences also. So that could be a fear that अगर मैंने ये poem publish करी, so what people will form an impression about me, right? That will always be a fear. So it's like मैं यहाँ पे खड़े होके blog कर रहा हूँ, people will, what will people think? अरे screw them. क्या लोग सोचेंगे हम इस बारे में, बहुत सारा सोचने लग जाते हैं, वो सोचे ना सोचें.
Just to add to that, I do want to share this very publicly because Abhishek was instrumental in this particular thought process. Is because so final book, the half of the book was uploaded on Kindle on 31st August. Then I gave the release date to be 15th September. So I thought, okay, 15 days are good enough to finish the rest of the poems. I was already in the process of writing, and the last date for the final manuscript uploading was 11th September.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah, and 10th September night, I was having the exact same doubts which Abhishek shared right now, that 90% of my poetry is inspired by my personal heartaches, heartbreaks, disappointments, hopelessness. Should I even publish this? What will people think about me? And for an Indian girl who's not married yet, the first thing that she thinks about is, okay, now what if people read this, form an opinion about me, and there's no man on this whole planet who's ready to marry me, because I bared my heart, literally. Like I talked about my heartbreaks very openly and things like that. And here's what Abhishek told me, and which I've written in my acknowledgement section also, and he said, prepare for impacts. I remember. He said, whatever it is, just own it. Even if it's heartbreaks or whatever it is, just own it. This is part of you. It's helped you grow as a person. So just go ahead and own it. There's no point in pretending. There's no point in sugarcoating what you felt.
Exactly.
So yeah, I want to add to that. Like,
definitely. I mean, so चाहे फिर pandemic आए, चाहे हमारे heartbreaks हो, चाहे कुछ भी हो, what will people think and what will the consequences? Of course, you should not do anything like extravagant, but yes, be confident about what you are doing, what is your craft, and also अगर आपने इतना मेहनत करी है किसी चीज़ पे, so you should be confident about it. क्योंकि अगर हम किसी भी चीज़ पे confident नहीं रहेंगे, तो फिर हम कभी लाइफ में कुछ नहीं कर पाएंगे, and we will be always doubting on what we are doing or what will be the future and all that stuff. And I think 2020 has और कुछ किया हो, लेकिन एक चीज़ ज़रूर करी है कि सबको reality दिखा दी है कि हम कहाँ थे, हम क्या करते हैं. But those people survived, जिन्होंने अपने ऊपर confidence रखा, they trusted God and they had faith on His plans, and they were prepared to okay, हम गिर गए, फिर से उठने के लिए हम are we ready or not. हम लोग ये समझ लें कि आज हम मुझे सरकारी नौकरी मिल गई है तो मैं बस अब ज़िंदगी मेरी सेट होगी. दैट एटीट्यूड इज़ नॉट गोना वर्क इन दिस सेंचुरी. So you have to be very much confident in whatever you are doing. So thank you so much, Mukti, and we wish for the Poems in the Chai Cup version 2,
Volume 2, yeah.
Volume 2, which I am sure soon will be coming, and I'm sure I'll be the designing cover again. But of course, that will be a great pressure on me. So because to make it more creative. But yes, it was wonderful talking to you, and I hope guys you enjoy talking to her and listening to her and the experiences. And I request you, do not let anything doubt on your faith, on yourself, and let's do this 2021 great. Enough of bahut aaram kar liya. Let's do some amazing work. Thank you so much and take care.